Well, Cindy, looking back on it, I really don't know how I faced it.
Mm,
I do believe that um, there was just something in me to always want to do better. There was just something in my DNA, I believe. Because remember, I said I come from a line of strong women, even back from my great great grandmother. We always talk about how strong they were. So it's just something that was innate. What my grandmother said that we can move in with her. And so she lived in what we call Hudson Bottom. That's the name of it. Hustle by Quick Town. So that's exactly what it was. It was projects. It was ghetto. Crack crackhead trailers on the right side of me. On the left side of me, there was a family domestic violence. The woman stabbing up her boyfriend. 50. I'm serious all the time. I was just thinking, God, how can you take my mom from me? That's the first thing. How could you? What? Then you had me do it with my grandma. How could you do that? So I wasn't even thinking, God is with me. God is by my side. God is holding me up. I wasn't even thinking that.
Welcome to our podcast. Well, today we have the privilege to sit down with Dr. Vanessa Brown, a remarkable individual whose life journey is nothing short of inspiring. From overcoming personal hardships to achieving remarkable milestones, Dr. Brown's story is a testament to resilience, faith, and perseverance. Join us as we explore her journey of triumph and discover the incredible impact she's making in her community and beyond. Dr. V, welcome.
Hello, hello. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. I'm doing fantastic. I have been waiting for this day. You and I have had, a few conversations, prior to this podcast, and you have an incredible. I mean, what a journey you've been through. Like you've been through a lot.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
a lot of hardships, even from a young age, you faced adversity
Hmm.
from a young age, losing your mother, through
Yes,
breast cancer and just moving with a family member and living in the project, and becoming
yes,
a teen mom, I mean,
yes.
what an incredible story. And so I really want us to dive in it, and I want you to touch, every single aspect, because somebody's going to be blessed. Yeah, somebody's going to be blessed
Yes.
with your story here. But before we get started, I want you to take us back,
Okay.
take us back to your childhood, your upbringing, the way you were raised, and some of your favorite memories that you can still remember while growing up. Tell us about that.
Okay. Well, like you said, I am Dr. Vanessa Brown. And I was born and reared in Orangeburg, South Carolina. So for some people, just to give it a little place on the map, that's about 25 minutes away from Columbia, South Carolina, which is the capital of South Carolina, and about an hour and a half from Charleston, South Carolina. So I sit right there in the middle. So like I said, I was born and reared there and did all of my formal education there from elementary school to middle school, high school, and then college. Um, yeah. So things about my childhood, maybe that I can remember that really just resonate with me. Before I think all of the hardship came in. I was always put into different activities. I found my singing voice when I was in middle school, so I was trained vocally. Um, I was in dance. I was in gymnastics. I was in piano. I was the first African American little girl in middle school to be in a pageant for Miss Orangeburg, South Carolina, Miss Teen Orangeburg, South Carolina. Of course, I didn't win, but I was the only African American little girl in that pageant. So I went to etiquette school. I mean, just things that little girls should have the opportunity to be a part of. I was a part of when I was growing up. So I do remember that. Um, I also just remember, and I know people may laugh, but I ate well. I remember just eating good. You know, my dad was a chef in the military, and so we ate really good. You know, some people be like, "Oh, you know, I remember having bread and gravy." That's not my narrative. We always ate good. You know what I'm saying? Always. So he made us really homemade pastries. I mean, just everything that you can think of. We ate because he was a chef in the military. So just really just enjoying those things that kind of added to my life when I got an adult as well too. So me being able to sing and dance, and I was a cheerleader. I mean, just all kind of wonderful things. Yeah. And uh so I don't want to, I want to stop because I don't want to go ahead of what you have to say
Yeah.
because I'll keep talking.
Well, that's wonderful. You were the art lady. Like you did everything.
Yes.
You could sing.
Yes,
I
I did.
could sing. That's wonderful. So
Yes.
you were in all those curriculum activities, and on top of that,
Yes.
your dad was a chef in the military. That's wow.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
So you ate all the good meals and
Yes. All the good food.
all the good food.
I'm telling you, we love to eat. Yes. And I ate good.
That,
I ate good, as people say. Yes, goodness. I did. I ate good.
that's wonderful. So do you have any siblings? Any siblings?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I do. So I have three siblings, two older, one younger. He passed away maybe about 6 years ago.
Sorry.
Um, and yeah, health was bad. So I'm the middle child. So I don't know. Some people can tell I am the middle child. So I needed a lot of attention. So yeah. So I have two older siblings: an older sister, older brother, myself, and then my younger brother. Hmm.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yes, I'm right smack dab in the middle.
Right in the middle. That's what
Yes,
I'm also
yeah.
the middle child. So you know,
Yes, the middle child. We go through things, don't we?
yeah.
The
Oh,
middle child.
God.
Yeah, we do.
It's kind of good to be in the middle. You have older siblings,
I know.
younger ones, so
Yes, yes,
it's a great balance.
yes.
Well, I remember when you and I had our first conversation, you said that you were raised in a family with a strong belief in God. But looking back, you realize that your family wasn't saved. Can you expand on
Right. So, so when I grew up, see, we believed in God. We prayed,
that?
prayed at dinner, we prayed before we went to bed at night. We reverenced God. My mom reverenced God. My grandma, my aunts reverenced God. Went to church. My mom sent us to church. She didn't necessarily go with us. So I had an older sister who was a driver, so she would send us to church. She would send us to Bible camp. She would send us to Sunday school, stuff like that. So we went. But me being older and having a relationship with God now, realizing that no, my family wasn't necessarily saved. And then me being able to have the opportunity to be married to a phenomenal um, man who is a PK,
Mm.
uh, now I see. So it's a difference. So like I said, we reverence God. We knew it. My grandmother played church music on Sunday morning, singing, but being saved,
Mm.
having a relationship with Jesus, no, I don't think so. No, no, I really don't. Yeah, but we love God.
Yes.
We did love God. Yeah, yeah. I got baptized at a Bible camp. In the summer you go to a Bible camp. So I got baptized. My mother was really happy. But just knowing what I know now and being in ministry since 96, really serving God and having a relationship with him, we weren't saved.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
There's definitely a difference between
Yeah.
being thought of Jesus and just be
Right.
take going.
And him being ahead,
Yeah.
right, being the head. And so the dynamic of my family really showed me the older I got and got married and to a man who loves God and honors God that way he honors me. And so the order of my family was wrong,
Mm.
right? So a man is supposed to lead. My mother led. My mother was the breadwinner. My mother was the backbone. My mother was the one who set order, which is not God gave men that charge,
That's
right? So even knowing that, no, we weren't.
Woo!
No.
Preach, Dr. V.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. So even that, it was and then that and that was really the makeup of my family.
mm,
So I come from a very uh strong line of independent Black women, beautiful too, just independent, and they were strong and strong-willed and believe, so see, just that just in itself, no,
wow,
you weren't.
wow. So,
Yeah, my mom was a disciplinarian. She disciplined us. My dad didn't.
mm,
He didn't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah.
so the roles were reversed.
But all is good. All is good. Listen.
Yeah. Wow.
Mhm.
That's wonderful that you share that. And then
Yeah.
you experienced, something happened. You had an event that occurred in your life that sort of
Yeah.
changed the course of your entire life. Losing your mother. I'm very sorry about that.
Yes.
Losing
Yes.
your mother to breast cancer. How did you
Hmm.
navigate the challenges you faced? Growing up and having to face that that difficult circumstance. How did you navigate through that?
Um. Well, Cindy, looking back on it, I really don't know how I faced it.
Mm,
I do believe that um, there was just something in me to always want to do better. There was just something in my DNA, I believe. Because remember, I said I come from a line of strong women, even back from my great great grandmother. We always talk about how strong they were. So it's just something that was innate in me. Back then, I didn't know what it was. All I know was I needed to press forward.
mm,
I needed to always press forward. I need to always know that it's not as long as it has been, you know? So yeah, it was very hard. And there's several times I wanted to give up, but something in me
right, right.
said that I couldn't,
That's
I just could not give up, but a lot of challenges, faced a lot of adversity,
mm,
a lot of setbacks, but still would not give up. Not saying that I didn't want to. I cried many a nights,
mm,
cried many a nights. But guess what? I guess it only made me strong because look at me now. I am who? Dr. V.
that's right. That's
Right? So, yeah. Yeah.
and I also remember you shared with me. You said shortly after that your father left. You know,
Yeah.
because of the trauma and all, your father left, and
Yes.
you had to
Mhm.
move in with a family member in the project, and that was also another you know um,
Yes.
experience right there. Can you just expand? And
Yeah, so my mother got diagnosed with breast cancer. As we think about technology and how the medicine has improved, so think about back then in the 80s. Cancer was like death sentence. They didn't really know what to do about it. And so when my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, um, she had to make several life choices, several life changes, excuse me. And so he just really wasn't strong enough, right, to do it. So he left. He left my mom and me and my siblings. So, breast cancer couldn't work. So we had to move in with my grandmother even before my mom passed. So we even moved in. So my life changed even then too. Had to move in with her. Um, and then when my mom passed several years later, um, my older sibling, my older sister and brother, they were already out the house. So it was just me and my younger brother. So we had to move in. Well, my grandmother said that we can move in with her. And so she lived in what we call Hudson Bottom. That's the name of it. Hustle by Quick Town. So that's exactly what it was. It was projects. It was ghetto. Crack crackhead trailers on the right side of me. On the left side of me, there was a family domestic violence. The woman stabbing up her boyfriend. 50. I'm serious all the time. And so me walking a block to my bus every morning, walking through Quicktown, through the woods, anybody could have grabbed me. Any wino could have grabbed me. Any cat that anybody. But I'm pressing, pressing through, right? And yeah. So and then my grandmother believed that she took us in, so that's what she needed to do. Not necessarily be actively involved. You have a teenage young woman who is fully aware of her hormones and everything else, right? So, but she didn't feel the need to be actively involved with me or my younger brother. And back in the day, Cindy, I don't know about you, they were like, "Don't get pregnant," but you don't tell me how. You tell me not to get pregnant, but how do you? How don't I get pregnant, right? All I know is you better not get pregnant. What? Tell me, how don't I get pregnant? So that's just all that was said to me. Don't get pregnant. Well, guess what? I did.
Right.
I became a teen mom. And so remember I told you about all those activities that I was a part of in my younger years. It followed me through high school. So I was very active in high school, part of the choir and the charms club and the cheerleading and the dance. I mean, all of that. But then being a teenage mom, that was looked down upon, unfortunately. And so I had to be removed from all of that. Okay. So
Wow.
then that's trauma. See, I didn't know that was trauma too. So the first thing, losing my mom, breast cancer. Second thing, moving in with my grandma in Quicktown. Okay. Third thing, my grandma's not even being actively involved. So even Cindy, the grades that I made in school was for me. She didn't, I forged her name. Did I say that? Anybody listen? I forged her name on my report card. Right? Because she didn't. The report card came to the house. Guess what? She didn't. She didn't care. So I signed even my little brother. I forged her signature on the report card. When we had a new high school being built my sophomore year. So that means your family and friends could come and tour with you the new facility. I had to tour with some of my friends and their parents. She wasn't around because she felt as though she gave us a roof
Right.
over our heads. She fed us. Now she did feed us, but that's all she needed to do. So I kind of had to navigate through that. And then when you are a teenage mom back then, you're even taken out of school for a period of time because I was considered high risk because I was a teenager. So maybe about 6 months pregnant, I had to be removed from high school, and they sent a tutor to me every day to make sure that I'm keeping up with my grades. But it was I was shunned upon, I was looked down on, so I wasn't given the support like, what, you can do this. No. Once again, they were like, "Oh, well, you pregnant. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. Might need to get on welfare. You might." So even the people now, but I had some friends, I thank God, that 40 something years, even to this day, they were instrumental even in that. And I even tell them that they were so instrumental. They didn't leave me,
Wow.
even though I was pregnant. They didn't leave me. They came and saw me every day when I was on this homebound, is what you call it. And the lady had to come. And then remember, so she's coming to tutor me. That means I had to study. So even then, I still had to prepare for lesson each and every day. And so, Cindy, because of that, I graduated on time. I didn't miss a beat. I graduated with my class. I didn't miss a beat. I didn't have to go extra month or extra 2 months, do summer school. Oh, no, no, no. Vanessa, at that time, I walked right with my class. My daughter was 1 month old. Destiny was 1 month old, and I walked with my class. So see, so that just that intrinsic,
Mm.
I think, and I think that's what our kids are missing, but we're gonna get to that, I know. But that intrinsic motivation, you know, back then, now I'm thinking it was God was with me. I say that now, but back then I didn't know that. Okay, because He had greater for me. I didn't say that. I couldn't say that back then. I didn't know that. I was just thinking, God, how can you take my mom from me? That's the first thing. How could you? What? Then you had me do it with my grandma. How could you do that? So I wasn't even thinking, God is with me. God is by my side. God is holding me up. I wasn't even thinking that, you know? So,
Wow.
yeah, a lot, right?
Oh my goodness. This is good. Good stuff. I know I know somebody will be blessed, and I'm so
Yes.
happy that you're sharing your story today. But I do have a follow-up question because
Yeah.
you mentioned your grandma was not heavily involved, um,
Right.
through your college years, or your education, or your
No.
brother.
High school. No. Mm-mm.
But how do you break that cycle? Now that you've gone through the things that you've gone through, you know
Yeah.
now, and you have a family of your own. How do you
Right.
turn around and break that cycle? And
Well, I was,
what your
as far as even me being pregnant, well, my daughter, unfortunately, was a teen mom. So I didn't break the cycle with her. Um, me and my husband were young in the ministry as a family. Remember, I said he was PK, so he already knew. So me being a young mom, I didn't do everything right because it's not a handbook, right? So I didn't do everything right with Destiny. So I didn't break the cycle, you know. Um, I don't know if it's a part of her DNA or what. Them genes is strong, Cindy. So I didn't break it. Right? So just really having God be the center of your life. I promise you.
If you enjoy our contents, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to stay up to date with our latest releases. Turn on the notification bell. Have a story to tell? We'd love to hear it. Reach out to us at cindybingham.com or connect with us on Instagram. Now, back to the show.
Now that I'm really actively involved with my grandchildren, God has to be the center of your life. You have to move, you have to live, you have to breathe him. Every decision you make, every whatever, you gotta pray, you gotta see. And so I didn't have it. Right. And so I just passed on what I knew to Destiny. And so I gave her the best that I could. And I remember I was just talking to her the other night, which really blessed me. She was just saying, Mom, I was just talking to some of my friends and I told them, you never let me see you struggle.
Mm,
And I struggled all the time. She didn't know though. She had the best. She said, you kept me up, you kept me well dressed, you kept me fed, you kept my hair done. She said, I was just telling my friends, I never went through that.
mm,
My mom never showed me that we struggled. She always had the best Christmases, always had you know what I'm saying? Because I worked hard. But I just think, Cindy, just having God be the center of your life and surround yourself with people that are positive, have the same vision and go. I mean, I just, yeah, you know, and we want our kids to not make the same mistakes that we made, right?
mm,
So we kind of try to set them up, and sometimes we can enable, and I'm finding that too sometimes, that you can enable them because we don't want them to go through what we went through, but sometimes they need to,
mm,
right? Sometimes they need to. So my daughter, I think, needed to go through some of what she went through.
mm,
Yeah, because it's making her, even to this day, a better person. So she is a better Destiny because of it. Because remember what she said. She didn't remember struggling. Okay.
that's right.
So you being a teen mom, you struggled. Yeah, she had to struggle and being a mom and a mom and a mom 5 more times. Right. So she went through. So I think, we don't want our kids to go through that, but sometimes I think they do. I think that's why this generation is so lacking because because we set them up. We set them up. We thought for success, which is for failure. They don't know how to think on their own. They don't know about adversity. It was My name was Vanessa Adversity Dunmore. That's my maiden name, Dunmore. You know, my middle name was Adversity. Vanessa Adversity Dunmore. Right? Right? Yeah. And I always say that to people. Adversity was my middle name.
Oh my God.
So, yeah.
I'm very impressed, by you, and despite all of the challenges, you never stop
Yeah.
dreaming. You continue to work hard to pursue your dreams, and you even
Yes.
went to college, um,
Yes.
and majored in education. Well, what is the motivation?
Yes.
What motivated you to pursue education?
Well, Cindy, to be honest with you, so kids emulate what they see.
Mm,
So my mom was a hairdresser, right? The one I lost the one, the breast cancer. She was a hairdresser. So think about it. I want to be a hairdresser because kids emulate what they see. So my plans were to go to Dudley. At the time, Atlanta had a school called Dudley School of Cosmetology. I applied there. I was going to go there. I got pregnant at 17. So I had this one particular aunt who's still very influential in my life today, Clarissa Steedley Muldrow.
mm,
Okay. She was an aunt that was always actively involved in my life,
mm,
always. But she let me struggle. And I appreciate that. She let me go through my hard times.
mm,
Okay. She was there, but she let me go through. So she said to me, she said, Vanessa, we need to talk because you're pregnant. And she says, you're planning to go to Dudley School of Cosmetology in Atlanta, Georgia. She says, but that can't happen. So, I'm looking crazy. Like, first of all, really? You know, she says, because you're going to have a baby. You lay down and see, they were truthful back then. Now we're not truthful. Everybody's a winner. You can't lose. You can't say that. She said, you lay down and you had destiny. You made destiny. She says, and you're going to raise destiny.
mm,
So she said, let me tell you how the trajectory of your life is going to go. I'm changing the narrative for you right now. You're going to go to South Carolina State University. That's a HBCU, historically black college. It was about 2 blocks from where I lived, right? She says, you're going to go and you're going to major in education. So I'm crying, Cindy. You should have seen me. Like, how could she do this to me? This is my dream to be how could she not? So she's like, you're going to major in education. She says, the reason why is because it'll give you a decent salary. No, you won't become rich, but you have a decent salary. You can be involved in Destiny's school, her years, her education. And she says you have the summers off.
mm,
And that means you can get another little part-time job if you need to. And you're going to do that. You're going to be right here because you have to raise destiny. I cried, Cindy, going to the registration line on South Carolina State University. I cried. So the people asking me, oh, are you okay? I'm registering for education. Did not want to be an educator. I wanted to be a hairdresser. So that aunt
mm.
saw something in me that I didn't see. God uses people, right? He uses other people and then I couldn't fathom the fact that she would not allow me to go and pursue my dreams. But guess what? I had a responsibility. At the time, I couldn't see it. You know what I'm saying? Why can't you take Destiny? Why can't you know what I'm saying? Why can't you just let me throw Destiny off on somebody else? Oh, no, 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 ma'am. We're not doing that.
Mm,
You are going, so every year I registered. Okay. So then, Cindy, so I was a dancer, right? I danced, all the nice little bodysuits, Cindy, I was, all the gyrating all over this land, I was doing it. So my grandmother allowed me to do that,
mm.
but that was it.
Wow.
I wanted to pledge college, Delta Sigma Theta sorority, which I'm a member now for 26 years. But back then, she was like, "Oh no, ma'am,
Mm.
you're not doing that because all the money that you make and all the money that you get extra from your financial aid is going toward destiny. You better be glad I let you dance." Okay. So she told me that. And then Cindy, so that means that, okay, I went to college, but guess what? Remember, I had to provide for Destiny. And her dad, you know how them sometime my dads be. Sometime they're around, sometime they're not. You know?
Yeah.
He was young too. It just wasn't happening. Right? It just wouldn't work. You know, he wanted to narrate my life a different way. I wasn't going. I didn't want it to be that way.
That's
So
right.
I chose a different path, right? So Cindy, that means I had to work full time
Mm.
and go to college full times. Find somebody for Destiny when my grandmother decided that day she didn't want to keep Destiny. There are a lot of times Destiny came to college with me. My professors were phenomenal. They said, bring her on. Just so I wouldn't miss class. But Cindy, I had to work. I danced, went to college, took care of Destiny. So I'm thinking like I'm getting home from hostessing, waitressing, right? 11, 12 o'clock at night. My first class is 8 o'clock in the morning. My grandmother has Destiny. The nights that she wanted to keep Destiny, she did. So I'm thinking that she's going to let me go in and get my homework. Guess what she did? Here's Destiny. Think about it. That's my, you know what? But of course, behind the door, I'm cursing her out. Not in her face. Notice I said that. Behind the door, when she couldn't hear. I'm saying, call her every name in the book. Listen, because she was teaching me responsibility, and I got to be accountable for the choices that I make. We are failing our kids. We're not holding them accountable. We're not allowing them to lie in that bed that they made. So they did. They allowed me to. There are times, Cindy, when I just wanted, like, so my girlfriends would call me and be like, Vanessa, girl, there's a party going on. If you can just go ahead and wash Destiny up and get her smelling good and give it to your grandmama. And you say she ain't doing, and come and meet us on campus. Because I didn't stay on campus because I had a child, right? They stayed on campus, so they were partying. So, Cindy, I would do it. I would wash Des up. I'm fly, Cindy. Listen, fly, fashion it, fly. Go up there to give Destiny to my grandmother, and all she was doing was in a hot room watching Madlock, drinking some coffee. She says, "No, ma'am. No, ma'am," and didn't even give me an explanation. Okay, no, ma'am. I'm not doing it. Not tonight. So once again, I'm crying in the back with the door closed, calling her every name under the sun. Right? So it taught me. Destiny was my responsibility. So it's a lot to swallow, but yeah.
Wow, wow. Oh my goodness. Wow. That,
Yeah.
I really, I don't know how you did it. I don't know,
Me either, Cindy. I promise you.
um,
I promise you.
you know,
Yeah.
how you manage the demands of being a teen mom, you know, going to college full time,
Mm.
working full time.
Full time. Full time.
That's right.
Listen. Yes. Full time. Hmm.
And going to college.
And grandmama kept me when she wanted. And there's sometimes I guess she felt in a good mood.
Mm.
And there are times she didn't. But that taught me, and even with my grandchildren now, let me be a grandma. I'm not a permanent parent. I did that already.
Wow.
I get my grandkids when I want them. Not because you forcing them on me or I got to, you know what I'm saying? I raised my kids.
That's right.
So she was teaching me. No, no, no. No, no, no. Not having that. But that Auntie Clarissa was still there. But see, they let me go through. And I think, and it helped me to be who I am today. Resilient, that resiliency you talked about,
Yes.
you know,
Mm.
just steadfast, not wavering in my pursuit for what I want. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think it helped me. Back then I didn't see it, but I see it now. Yeah.
Wow. Beautiful, beautiful. Um, so, you talked about your aunt, you talked about
Yeah.
your grandma, those individuals who were instrumental throughout your journey.
Right.
Do you have any other mentors or anybody else that really was that person during that time, during those tough times that you were going through? Anybody else besides your grandmother and
No, that's it. And my friends and my girlfriends that to this very day that stuck out to me because everybody else, remember I said back then being pregnant and so young and I'm in a ghetto, they said be so I was a statistic, remember? So I'm supposed to be a product of my environment. So there were other girls, excuse me, Cindy, there were other girls that were pregnant, lived in the ghetto, and they're a product of their environment. Okay. I used to always get bullied and wanted to get beat up on because I chose to hang better. I was taught birds of a feather flock together. I didn't want to be a part of that. So I chose girlfriends that had substance. Okay. Not saying we were perfect. I'm not saying that, but their trajectory was totally different from where I grew up. So I surrounded myself with them. And then the older we got, and even now, they tell me, you don't know how we looked up to you. You didn't have what we had, and you still pursued.
wow,
They said, you don't know how we look, how your life has impacted us, Vanessa. You don't even know. But we're here to tell you right now, it did. Because they did. Their parents were professors and, they lived nice. And so I'm surrounding myself with them. So I'll just say my grandmother who taught me through tough love, and that's what it was, tough love,
that's right.
and the Auntie Clarissa who instilled so much into me. And to this very day, just instilling. It's not as long as it has been. Don't cut off your nose to spite your face. I mean, all kind of little sayings that she said to me, which I didn't even understand. Why is she saying that to me? I don't even understand. What does that mean? I mean, yeah. And so those and my friends, yeah. That's it.
Wow.
That's it.
Well, thank God.
When I was going through.
Yeah, thank God for great friends. Thank God for great mentors.
Yes.
We all need, that one friend,
Yes.
who, you know,
Yes.
stuck by our side and really encourage.
Yes.
That's great. That's great to hear. And also during that time, how did your faith sustained you during those tough times?
Well, remember I said I was, and I know that, so a lot of things that we grew up on were not necessarily true. Like God won't put more on you that you can bear. It doesn't say that in the word. Okay. He says that he will give you a way of escape. It doesn't say that he won't put more. So I was taught you can make it because he won't put more on you than you can bear. So I grew up with that too. But like I said, not even really understanding because see, think about it. My family really wasn't saved. So, you know, I I don't know. I don't now, Cindy, looking at it, he had me.
That's right.
So
Mm.
he had me, and that's just the only thing I know. So me knowing about faith back then, I didn't know about it because remember I lost my mom. I got it was not my fault. It's not God's fault I got pregnant. I did that. But I'm pregnant at 17.
Mm.
Everybody looking at me crazy. They want me to be on welfare. You know what I'm saying? Stuff is hard. So he had me. But we know that now I know that but when you lean on him
That's right.
and you give it all to him and trust in the Lord with all your heart.
That's right.
So now I know. Then I didn't, Cindy. I really didn't. I just went on what I know, how I wanted my life to be and how I wanted it to end. And I didn't want people to put on me what they thought I was going to be. I didn't want people to control me like that. So I was never a follower, never. So like I said, even being pregnant, I'm gonna show them. The lady told me to get on welfare. No, 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 no. I'm gonna show you because I attempted to do it. Right, I attempted to go to welfare because my aunt was a social worker. This aunt I told you about, Clarissa. So she even said to me, she said, Vanessa, it's not there for a crutch. It's to help you. That way you don't have to work so hard. So I would. So she's telling me. So I go down to the welfare And this lady is talking to me behind this plexiglass, very rude, disgruntled. Obviously, she didn't like the job that she was at. You don't know me from Cat Daddy. So why are you talking to me as such? I'm a young girl. You're supposed to be encouraging me and giving me the tool and resources to help me become empowered. How are you going to talk to me any kind of way? And so I'm giving her my name and stuff and telling her the father of my child. Are you sure? I'm like, what? So, and I was real hot-headed then, Cindy. Can you tell? I said anything that, first of all, lady, who are you talking to me? You don't know me. How you gonna? So I left. And so on the PA system, remember my aunt worked there. On the PA system, Carissa Steedley, you are needed. Your niece has left the building. So she's out there in the parking lot with me, giving me what for? I said, no, ma'am. I'll do it myself. You can't have me. That lady don't know me. How you gonna ask me who? Am I sure who the daddy is? And then Cindy, because of that, so I decided not to go to welfare. So I am full-time, everything, right? How come the Department of DHEC made a video about me and Destiny? How this mama, this young teenager can do it, and you can too. So I was a part of the welfare program in a video that they show to these other teen mamas.
Wow.
You see? Yeah. You see? Yeah. And it played for years and years, right in the DHEC, yeah. Destiny and I. So they talked about me going to school full time, just everything. Yeah.
Wow.
But never wanted to do it. Never.
Wow.
So yeah. So now, Cindy, if you were to ask me, it's just that peace that I have of God's presence. You know, Him being the control of my life. He is my center. So whatever I do, there's a peace about it. And I know if I give it to Him, He takes care of it. He promises that. So yeah. So that obviously that was happening back then, but I didn't know.
Wow.
And I did pray. I don't know if my prayers reached Him. I didn't think. I'm just thinking they're reaching it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would talk to Him all the time. I'm not really knowing that He's hearing me though. You know? So yeah.
Powerful. Powerful. Woo! I tell you. Dr. V,
Yes.
what advice, because I know there may be somebody out there who's struggling, they're trying to balance, being a teen mom, trying to work and trying to go to school. What advice would you give that person? What advice would you give that person?
Wow. So let me see. First of all, you got to know who you are and whose you are, right? And you can't let the world dictate to you what they want you to be. You know, you got to move in your purpose. And we know in the word it says faith without works is dead. So you believe that God will do it, but you got to do your part too. You know, like I did my part. I believed, but I also did my part. I didn't sit around and be lazy. I did the work.
That's right.
Surround yourself with positive people. I know my brother-in-law, my my husband's one of his younger brothers was saying that people in your life should add and multiply to you, not divide and subtract. So you got to find people that add and multiply to your life. Okay, all the naysayers, get them off the bus. You control it. Get them off your bus. If they naysaying, get them off your. They don't believe in you, get them off. But it's about believing in yourself first. And the thing about it, Cindy, I'm very transparent. It's hard. And the thing is, my daughter is actually Destiny. She is actually, like I said, getting right on the backtrack. I praise God for her and how she's moving forward. But she has a job now with VA, which is very hard to get in. But now she wants to go to school. Yeah, you can do it, Des, but it's gonna be hard.
Mm,
So I'm being very transparent, but you can do it because there's a lot of people that are in worse situations than you that are doing it. So I just say, just believe in yourself. You really got to believe in yourself and affirm yourself every day. You is kind, you is smart, you is important. You affirm yourself every day. And I did. Cindy, I talk to myself every day. Even when I was young, I did. I just, Vanessa, you can do this. I know it's hard. You can do
that's
it. Oh my
good.
God.
Yeah,
So just, yeah, just surround your people, just surround yourself with positive people who believe in you and believe in your dreams and your goals. Put God in the center. He'll work it out. Do your part.
your point.
Do your part. Know who you are and whose you are. Absolutely.
Oh my,
Yeah.
it's powerful, powerful. Dr. V, I do want to move on.
Yes.
Like, I want us to talk about your professional, side, which is
Yes.
as an educator. Woo! With
Yes. 30 years. Woo!
Yes, with 30 plus years working for
Yes.
the Department of Defense Education Activity, DoDEA,
Yes.
um,
Yeah.
here in the United States and also in Germany. Uh,
Yes.
wow, over 30 years plus years. Um,
Yeah.
what an experience.
Yes.
What has your experience been like, working for
Well,
DoDEA?
so I married this phenomenal man. He he's always had a dream for us to be I'm not necessarily wealthy but comfortable and using our gifts, and he's always believed in me. Um he met me when I was in college and Destiny was 3.
Mm,
And so he saw how hard I worked, and so he just believed in me. So when we got married, dirt poor, just live with my grandmama again, dirt poor, right? And so I got a job in Columbia in um, Richland School District in a low income school, working really hard, making $18,000 a year as a first year teacher. Can you believe that? Oh my God, $18,000 first year teacher.
wow.
And so he was a manager at California Dreaming, a well known franchise restaurant there. And so he was like, babe, he's like, I just want better for you.
Mm,
He says, and so I'm going to go in the military. And he says, yes, to better our family, but to also give you an opportunity to teach for DoDEA. See, he knew because he was a military child all throughout. His daddy all throughout. I was military brat maybe about 3-4 years,
mm,
but he was from birth until he graduated, even college. I mean, his dad was military. So he was like, and so I want you to use your gifts and talents and be a part of DoDEA. So
mm,
that's what he did. He went in the military. I got with DDES in the state at Fort Stewart,
oh,
changed my life. So many resources, a wonderful organization, paid me what I was worth. I knew my worth, had a lot of gifts and talents that I brought to the school and to the district. Went to Germany, transferred over to DoDEA, which is Europe,
mm,
and just flourished thereafter, and just was in a lot of leadership roles, um, teacher leaderships. I mean, just everything you can name up under the sun. Taught from grades 2 to 6, and got to travel to Heidelberg, Wiesbaden, Kaiserslautern, different places throughout Germany, and just really, really enjoyed my time with DoDEA. Further my education with them, my master's, my EDS, got my doctorate and so forth on my own. But my master's and my EDS, which is educational specialist, I got through a program that they had that they offered DOS teachers, only to DOS teachers. So I took advantage of that. So they paid me for what I was worth, my time, and the resources were phenomenal, So no organization, don't get me wrong, Cindy, is perfect. But as an educator, DoDEA is the way to go. Yes. So yeah, that's how I got into it, because of that husband of mine that I'm still married to. Yes.
There's a story behind that, though.
I,
A good one.
yes.
And
A good one.
you inspire me, Dr. V.
Yes. Yes.
Oh
I
my God.
know.
Wow.
I know. But yeah, so that's how I got into it. But love the organization.
Mm,
Love the organization. A lot of benefits. I mean, yes. So, but we didn't want to grow old
mm,
in Germany. You know what I'm saying? I know God had that was my season. My time is up. I need to do up. I need to my gifts and talents for the kingdom now. I really believe that. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So how long did you stay in Germany? How long were you there for?
We stayed there for 24 years.
Oh, wow.
Just came back last July 2023. Moved here to San Antonio, Texas. hmm Yeah, 23 years. Loved it. Traveled, sang professionally, gospel. We enjoyed it. Yeah, really did. Really did. hmm
What do you miss about Germany?
Um, the culture,
Mm,
their family time. It's a beautiful place to live. Very clean. The air is clean. The food is fresh. Their family time is just unbelievable. How they value family. Um, Things aren't open on Sunday, like here, 24/7. Even the liquor stores, it's 24/7. Not in Germany.
mm,
Okay. You wash your car on a Sunday, you get fined. Listen. So Saturdays, stores close at 4 o'clock to downtown. You know what I'm saying? Because they want you to enjoy your family time. So just family time, the quality of life. You can live, you can drive what you want to drive. Cindy, live how you want to live. Don't have to worry about the home invasions. I mean, it's just wonderful.
wow. Wonderful.
Germany's in the center, so you can travel to different places in Germany right there in the center. Italy here, Paris here, Spain here, just yeah.
Wow.
So it's nice. We had a good time. We had a good time.
Wonderful life.
Lovely time. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Now,
Yes.
um, I know you have a big vision, and
Yes.
I want you to talk. Take your time, talk to us about it. Christian Academy. You working on
Yes.
Christian Academy? Uh,
Working on it.
yes.
Yes.
And how do you hope for it to impact the community? Talk to us about it. How it came about and how
Yeah.
hope that it will impact the community.
Well, like I said, so once I got into education, I began to enjoy it. Thank you, Auntie Clarice. I began to enjoy it. And so we were raising my oldest granddaughter, Sky. Um, and so, raising her in the church, training her up. That's what the word says, Proverbs 22:6.
Mm,
Training her up. And so we decided to put her in a Christian academy. And she just flourished.
mm,
I mean, it was just unbelievable. And the only reason, Cindy, why we took her out of the Christian Academy, she was third grade, she was starting kindergarten, is because they really were very particular in who they wanted. They vetted people and who they wanted to drive the van. So they would pick Sky Boo up in front of my school. She would come to school with me, but she would go off in a van to the Christian Academy. And so their transportation wasn't reliable, the people that were driving for them. So I tried to take her to school. I had like my planning period first thing in the morning. God worked that out too. But me getting going down into Wiesbaden and coming back, I just couldn't make it. I was being late. Had explained to my principal. I mean, it was just a lot. So unfortunately, and I say that and I mean it. Unfortunately, we brought her to DoDEA.
mm.
Okay. Um, so, and I don't mean that unfortunate because DoDEA is not a great organization, but it's not Christian.
Right.
It wasn't a Christian academy. So
Mm,
what she was learning. So she excelled. Um, even in faith, and the thing is, it says train them up, and that's what we did. So when they get older, they won't depart. So our kids veer off. We understand that. But when they get older, they come back because they got that foundation. So God has just dropped it in my spirit maybe a couple of years back. You're going to retire from DoDEA and you're going to start your own Christian Academy. And the Christian Academy is Journey to a Better Education. So when you think about education, you think about a journey. You have pitfalls, you have successes, you have celebrations, you have valleys, you have mountains to climb, right? Failures, you have successes. So it's a journey, right? So I have a grandbaby that name is Journey. She's a twin. So Journey is spelled Journi. So you'll always be able to find my Christian Academy. So Journey to a Better Education Christian Academy. So God has put it in my spirit. And so San Antonio is the place. And I say that because being an educator for 30 years, that pendulum of education swings backwards and forward, right? So as educators, we got to jump on it, whether we jump on it from the left or whether we jump on it from the right, whether we jump on it from the upside or whether we jump on it from the downside. It changes. Education changes, right? And so it's changing, but not for the best, in my opinion. It's not. We got all these kids now that are identifying with whoever they want to identify with: cat, dogs, bears, squirrels, whatever, and just, I don't know. And even what our kids are even expected to learn and what the emphasis is on nowadays. And I believe that our kids are, the songwriter says, I believe that children are our future. Really? And so I'm looking at these kids, and these are our future? Do we want these people right now, these Gen Z, to take care of us? Who can't even look you in your eye? Who can't even communicate with you? Who can't even weather the storm? If you lose a game, you about to kill yourself and die because see, they don't handle adversity. They don't understand about trauma. No, nothing. And I was talking to somebody, I forget, Cindy, and they said the thing about it is we want you bring me your child when they're a teenager. And you want me to do something about that child as a teenager. What does the word say? You train him up. So how you gonna bring me your child as a teenager that already done been in the world, already identify, the world has told him who they can identify with, whether it's correct or not. Okay. So now you bring them to me because you at your wit's end and you want me to do something. How about these Christian daycares? Perfect. But then Christian daycares, and then you throw them out to the world.
Right.
You're supposed to train them up. Right? So train them up is giving them that foundation and direction for life. For life, not just, but for life, giving the skills that they knew, the needs, we gotta interrupt some of that mess, right? And so I just believe that I have the skills, the knowledge, the know-how from the secular. God has blessed me with that.
Yeah.
So now I can take what I know from the secular and apply all those wonderful skills that I know that work and couple it with the spiritual, the Christian. So I want my children to have a strong biblical foundation, strong, coupled with the foundational skills that they need to be global citizens that'll make something in the world, So that's just my impact, and I believe it to be so. And I know that God did not drop this in my spirit just because. I know He doesn't work like that. And all that I've been through with education, I know it has prepared me to do it. So I'm excited about it. I know that God has given me another open door to where I believe that I'm going to be a part of a ministry that I will be up under their umbrella, which Cindy will then allow me to not have to go through all the red tape. See, God will open up doors and windows that people will be like, oh, how did she do that? Because of God. See, so if I do it independently, I'm in charge of 501c3s. I'm in charge of insurance and facilities. Well, if I go up on their church, they already have that. See? Look at God. Already. All they gotta do is accept my vision. You know? So yeah, and I believe it would be a great impact. And I believe our children we gotta take our children back.
Yeah.
We gotta take them back. We already know the enemy is perverted them, and he's allowed them to just identify with come on. I mean, I mean like, oh my God, I can't believe what our children are going through and what they um are subjected to and don't know where to turn because they don't have no foundation. So I believe that um our children associate with people who are um identifying or believing who they really are not. You get that?
Mm,
Who they're accepting you who you really are not.
my God. My God. My God.
For who you really are not. So they accept you.
That's right. That's right.
But when our children know who they are and whose they are, they won't identify. And see, that's the thing with me. Remember, I told you I wasn't a follower,
Mm, mm,
right?
that's right.
I didn't know that God. I didn't know. I really didn't. But I was not a follower. You could not tell me no, 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 no. But I wasn't doing that. Even to this day, I'm not. And so, like my daughter says when she talks about fashion, she says, "Mom, don't be a part of the wave. You set the wave." And I say it to my kids, why are we allowing our children to be a part of the wave? They need to set the wave.
That's right.
They need to be in schools and they need to be, oh my God, people need to be, oh my God, I want to be like them. Their light is diminished.
Mm, 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 mm.
They are no light. Cause they flowing, going with the flow, going with the flow. You identify with Jesus Christ. How you identify as a Gen Z? Well, first of all, why would people put that on you? Why you identify as that anyway?
That's right. That's right.
But anyway, so I believe it, Cindy. I was done in the dark will come to the light.
That's right.
So I am kind of not sharing a whole lot
Mm,
because I want people to be like God. So when they see it,
that's right.
it's gonna be like, oh my God,
Right.
it's God.
It's God.
That's why
No,
I'm just when you see it, you gonna know it's God. I give God the glory. I can't. But this vision He placed in me, and He places stuff in my spirit every day. So every day I'm writing. Every day I am. So I know I have a big meeting coming up April 21st where I have to present this to the ministry team. So I ask for your prayer in that. But I know it's gonna be well.
ab-
I know it's gonna be well.
absolutely.
I already know.
Doctor,
Just training our kids up and just taking them back. That's all. That's all I want because you know it is what it is. So yeah.
Dr. V, I told you this, in private, but I'm going to share with the world that what a vision, and
Mm-hmm.
we need it. You know, our
Yeah, we do.
our children are the future, and
Yeah,
I stand by you 1,000%.
yeah.
This is what I believe. I believe training up our children in the ways of the Lord, and they shall not depart.
That's right.
And
They will not depart.
yes, what you're doing is, it's amazing. It's amazing, and
Yeah.
we'll be praying along, and we know it'll come to
Please.
pass. It will come to pass,
Yes.
and
Yes.
you know, woo, powerful. This is powerful. Well, I don't know if I should ask this question because, but you spoke about the Christian Academy, but any other projects or initiatives, plans?
Well, I mean, right now, Cindy, that is what I really, really need to focus on. I know that um on the marriage side of the house, me and my husband have been together 30, it will be 33 years in May, 31 years married, however. And we've been through a lot as a couple. And so I'll put my marriage up against anybody. So, nowadays, everybody
Mm,
is black love. Everybody has something to say, but we have something to say because we've been through it, right? We've been through trauma,
mm,
sickness, and in health, you know?
mm.
And so we're thinking about just doing some publishings in that area. I know I do have some girlfriends that tell me I need to do a memoir book of my teacher stories.
Yes.
So but I think the I need to get this Christian Academy.
Mm,
That is my main goal,
mm.
right? So I don't want to be sidetracked. I don't want to put any more energy into. So some of that stuff is percolating.
Yes.
It's percolating. Yeah, yeah. So my friends always tell me that. They said, Vanessa, what are you doing? Why you don't have a memoir book yet
That's
of
right.
your teacher stories? Come on. What's going on?
That would be
So
wonderful.
that's percolating. It's not going anywhere. It's percolating. So once I get the A-OK and stuff start really flowing with this Christian Academy, then
That's
yeah.
wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah. So some publishing, we'll see. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, Dr. V, come on. You know, you got the title. You got the title. You got to add the memoir next to it.
They said, what in the world? Why haven't you? I was like, I know. I got some stories, but yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Wow, what an amazing conversation. Dr. V, and how I know people will be watching and people would want to know, how they can get in touch with you, how they can hear more about, the things that you're working on, so how can people get a hold
Well, Cindy, right now, like I said, until it gets off the ground, I'm not really gonna really publicize too much about it.
right,
Not putting all my eggs in one basket, as they say.
that's right.
Um, but I'm on Facebook, Vanessa Dunmore Brown. I'm on Insta, Vanessa Dunmore Brown. Notice I said Insta. Do you say Insta, Cindy?
uh,
Insta on IG.
Gee,
Insta, not Instagram. IG, right. Come on, Cindy, you gotta give it the time. Insta. I'm on Insta
I love
or IG, Vanessa Dunmore Brown. But right now, but more come. More come right now. So if you just wanna, yeah. So I'm not posting too much about it
yeah,
yet,
absolutely,
you know.
yeah, absolutely.
But stuff will come. Yeah, stuff will come. Absolutely. So yeah.
Dr. V, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart
Well, thank you.
for your time, for
Yes.
sharing your story. What an incredible story. Um, we're praying along with everything that you're working on. We're praying along,
Yes.
we're supporting you. We're behind you 1,000%. So thank you very
Thank you. Thank you for having me on. It was so wonderful, Cindy, getting to know you.
much.
And like I said, now you got to be a BFF.
Yeah,
Dr. B is Cindy's BFF.
absolutely.
Because when we talked the other day, listen, y'all, it was phenomenal. We had the podcast the other day, really. The other day.
Oh,
So it was wonderful. Thank you for having me on. I hope it blessed someone.
yes,
Have me on again, talk about some other stuff. Yes.
absolutely. Yeah. When that memoir comes out, you have to come back and
Yeah.
talk about it.
I know. I know, right? I know.
Thank you.